I have been going back and forth with my topic all day, which is kind of normal for me. But being the last speaker, I kind of like it when it's Byron Strog. I kind of like it when it's a Troy Brown or even an Eric Grzybowski. And I'm saying this with all sincerity. I like to send people off to lunch for some reason. It's just a really good time to use me. And to accept this honor to send you off into battle with absolute momentum. I accept the charge. And I accept that responsibility. My beautiful wife, Crystal, I knew I was going to come back up here again, so I wanted to make the Triple IMB more about them than it was about me, more about corporate than it was about us. But now I want to make it about them. I love you, baby. I appreciate you. Thank you for everything that you have been for us as a team. There's no way in the world that we would be able to accomplish what we've accomplished without having that type of help meet. At home, on the road, regardless. When we first started doing business together, she actually would introduce me. She would be the only person that would introduce me. We would set up registration. We would do everything. We wouldn't let anybody touch anything. So she has been there from day one on stage with me. So I love you, baby. I appreciate you. And I thank you for my beautiful 3 children, Psalms and Hannah, Honor. I'm just incredibly honored. And to World Ventures, to my brothers and sisters of fun, freedom, and fulfillment. Let's do this to prepare for United, to show up and show out with well over 10,000 people in one arena from around the world. And I promise you, if you pay attention to what I'm about to do and what I'm about to say, we will take you there. With all that being said, I've been able to train and speak around the world. And I don't know anybody in World Ventures who took a flight outside the United States to build before I did. And I'm not saying that in a way to big myself up. I'm saying that in a way because there was something inside me that created this urge of going against the grain and creating history in my life. There are no millionaires before me with the last name Wimbrey. My father was a trash man. My father was a very hard worker, and that's all I saw in him was hard work. I don't know of anyone in my generation on the white side or the black side that had $1 million price tag on them in terms of entrepreneurialism. So you are looking at a first generation millionaire. And I'm saying all that to say this. There are things that I can train on right now that your upline is already qualified to train on. There are things that I can talk about right now in terms of our opportunity, our company, our compensation plan, how badass our product is, but that's already been said. And I think to myself, what are some of the things that I've been able to teach and train and echo in the hearts of leaders around the world that are a part of my organization that you have to understand? This is no shot, this is no dig, this is fact. Every single active member in my team came from me. I don't have spillover. And for those of you who are crying about not having spillover, wham, me too. But I'm actually grateful that I don't, because it causes me to work with a different mindset of no expectations for anything other than what I'm willing to put into the game. Would I accept spillover? Absolutely. Do I need it? Hell no. So I'm saying all that to say this. I have multi-million-dollar ring earners on my right team. I have multi-million-dollar ring earners plural, on my left team. I got plural $1 million ring earners on my right team. I have plural $1 million ring earners on my left team. I have dozens of IMDs on my right team. I have dozens of IMDs on my left team. I have double IMDs on my left team. I have double IMDs on my right team. I'm saying all this to say, if I think about the core messages, the core trainings, not from stage, the one-on-one conversations that I've had with my leaders, what made the difference to build to the point where I'm insignificant? What made the difference in those Michael Jackson and Wimbrey conversations was nobody else was around? What made the difference when I was talking to Julio Acosta and he's getting angry at me in his car and we're just going back and forth? What was the difference between those conversations that never happened on stage? And that's what I want to do right now. I want to talk about core fundamental values of your character to become a first-generation millionaire. If you're already, or if someone in your family lineage was a millionaire before you and you are or you're not, that's fine. At least what I'm about to teach and what I'm about to talk about, you can train from my perspective or you can train from your perspective. But either way, what I want to talk about right now are three absolute pillars. Three absolute pillars of the character that will create a first-generation millionaire. Is there anybody in this room that has a desire to disrupt the past of everything that happened before you and create a new now to the point when you take your last breath, you know for a fact that you don't want to die working, but you want to die watching your work. My children are second-generation millionaires because I decided to be a first-generation millionaire. If I can teach you and talk about the fundamental characteristics that I have used in my life, outside of World Ventures, outside of being a speaker, outside of being a parent, outside of everything, and everything that I brought to the table to build my business in World Ventures, if I were able to share that with you right now, would you want it? Now, I got to help you understand something. You're going to learn some things about me you probably don't know right now. But you're also going to learn some things about you that you want to forget. And the problem is, your character can't be built if you decide to quit remembering the real you. See, this is what I call personal inventory. It's personal inventory of understanding that you got to understand your value. You've got to accept the fact that you have value. And I know we all been through the good, the bad, and the ugly. I say this all the time. My first memory in life was being homeless, living in a battered women's shelter. It's one thing to be homeless, but it's another thing to be homeless because you're running for your life. So if I don't understand my value, my character, so if these pillars, every single pillar that's up here, there are 7 pillars that are here, but there's 3 pillars that I'm going to focus on, and the 3 pillars, the first one, in terms of understanding your character, is value. There's no particular order of importance, but I'm building to go somewhere with this, and I'm going to go back and forth with all the pillars, but I want to talk about your character, because if you truly want to succeed in life with a very solid foundation, it is your character that has to be in place. And the very first thing that I want to talk about, do you understand your value? And then we're going to talk about faith. Do you have faith in you? Not your upline. If your upline quits, do you have faith If you're like Eric Rosbowski, you have to build this thing all the way over from scratch. Do you have faith in you? See, these are core, fundamental, essential values of character. And if you don't understand this, when the wave comes, when the wind comes, you're going to be blown down. You're going to be washed away because you don't understand your value. You don't understand the value of having faith in who you are and who created you. And then we're going to talk about commitment. These are three things that I have mastered up to this date to stand on a solid foundation. And these are three characters. So if you were to build all 7 of these pillars, if you're in construction or if you ever wanted to remodel a home, my wife and I, we were looking at a home about 30 days ago, and this home was about double the size of the home that we're in right now. And we were looking at this house, but it was based on the foundation of the property. It wasn't even so much the house. It was the foundation of the property that we wanted. And we went into this home and we started asking questions. Could we take this wall down? Yes, you can take this wall down because the value of this wall has nothing to do with the infrastructure. But there are certain walls that we couldn't take down. It didn't matter if we didn't like the wall or not. Taking certain walls down would interrupt the foundation in which it was built on. So if these 7 pillars that are before us right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If there were 7 pillars and 4 of them I could take off and take out. I could take out these 4 and these 4, 2 and 2, but there are 3 I can't play with. If you want to play with your success, take out the wrong pillar. Ignore the right pillar and you're going to fall. Value, faith, commitment. Value. When I was maybe 25 years old, maybe 26, back in 2001, the year 2000, I was asked to speak at a very prominent church of very high-level leaders, and I was asked to speak to their youth. And I don't know if you understand the intimidation of speaking to high-level leaders' children. I'm more nervous to speak to children than I am adults, especially if the children that I'm speaking to are children of people that we respect on a global level. Because the teachings that they get on an ordinary basis, I've got to come in and teach something either different or echo what they're already learning. And one of the things that I decided to talk about is something that regardless of how many times you've heard it, it's still a core message that you can always repeat. And it had to do with value. See, if you don't understand the pillar of value, this character, see, let's break it down real quick. What is character? See, true character is who you are when nobody else is around. True character is not who I'm looking at right now, because we can put up a front and makes you think something's not true that isn't. We can put up a front in front of people, but who are you when nobody else is around? I can honestly tell you this, regardless of anything that I've ever gone through in my life, being homeless as a child, having an abusive alcoholic father, my brother going to prison, my mother put me on an airplane saying I'll see you in 2 weeks, and I didn't see her for 3 years, failing the 2nd grade, being moved from shelter to shelter out of fear. Everything that I've ever gone through in my life, living in the hood, going to schools filled with gangs and violence and drugs, carrying guns to school. Everything that I've done, I have never in my life entertained that I would not be successful. I have zero Why? Because I know what broke felt like. And I knew what I was running from, not running to. It's my value. And if you don't understand your value, you will justify the weaknesses and you will justify the past of you to dictate your value. So here's something I did with teenagers, actually 7th and 8th graders. I pulled out a $100 bill and I asked the class, how much is this worth? And they said $100. And this was back in the year 2000, 2001. And I folded it up and I said, now how much is it worth? They said $100. So I asked them, so you're telling me that if I fold this thing in half, this piece of paper that was worth $100, and I fold it in half, you're telling me the value doesn't change? How is that possible? And they started saying, because it's still worth $100. And they started looking at me like I was crazy. So I said, what if I fold it again? It's no longer half of what it was. Now it's a quarter of what it was. What is the value now? And the children said, Mr. Wimbrey, or Brother Johnny to be exact, it's still worth $100. So I said, you're telling me that if I fold it 2 times and I decrease the size and the visibility of what it used to be down to a quarter of the size, you're telling me that the value is still there? What if I fold it again? Children, how much is it worth? It's still worth $100. How is it possible that it's still worth $100 when I have folded it? Some would say I even abused it. So if I can't take the value out of it by folding it, what if I crumble it up? What if I turn it into a ball of what some would say would look like trash from a distance? Now what is it worth? And the children said, Brother Johnny, it's still worth $100. So you're telling me that I folded up to the point where it no longer even resembles what it looked like in its original creation, and it's still holding the same value? Tell you what, I'll throw it on the ground. I'll step on it. So now what is it worth? Brother Johnny, said the kids, it's still worth $100. So you're telling me that as long as it stays intact, as long as I can put it back together at some point, you're telling me there's nothing that I can do to this piece of paper to cause it to lose its value? Why would you allow someone to step on your dreams? To fold you in half, to crumble you up, to mentally, emotionally, physically abuse you to the point that your character is detached from its original value. You have more value in a man-made object than you do as you as a God-made object. See, these are 3 core characteristics of a first-generation millionaire. And the first core pillar of character. See, See, character is who you are when nobody else is around. Who told you it wouldn't work? Who did you look up to? And they talked down to you, and because you looked up and their voices was coming down on something that you had value in, something you saw opportunity with, something you were excited about, but somehow they folded you with the no. And you lost value in this opportunity. You don't have value in you, you'll never have value in this. Because true character is who you are when nobody else is around. I once read somewhere when someone said, you can always judge the size of a person's character by the size of the obstacle it takes to overcome them. So if I fold this one time and that causes you to give up, that one fold is the size of your character. You can't be a first-generation millionaire with a one-fold character. Boom! Where's your value? I would guarantee you that everybody on these first few rows, they've been told no. They've been stepped on. They've been crumbled up. They've been folded in half. But somehow, some way, they have mastered one of the core pillars of the first generational $1 million character. That's one pillar. This one doesn't matter right now because we can always build another wall. Where's your faith? Where's your faith? I have faith in God. I am a creature of God. I am made in His image. I believe in God the Father Almighty. I believe in the power, the omnipotent, the all-powerful, the omniscient, the all-knowledge, the omnipresent, everywhere at the same time. I believe that. But I'm not talking about that right now. I'm talking about your faith in you. Where's your faith in you? I purposely came out here after lunch early just to watch some things from a distance. And I was watching how all of you came in here and you set your little happy ass down in a chair. Not one of you. And when I say not one of you, not one of you walked up to your chair and did it like this. Not one of you checked the legs. Not one of you folded the chair up just to see. Not one of you. You didn't. You didn't. You didn't. You had faith that that chair will hold you up. Here's my question for my second pillar, character of a first-generation millionaire. Do you have the same faith in a chair that you do yourself? Wow. Well, if I call this person and they say no, it's going to hurt my feelings. You didn't talk to the chair. You didn't negotiate with the chair. You didn't entertain the chair failing you. You didn't entertain the chair saying no. But when it comes to you and your character of reaching out and doing the thing that is supposed to be done in this business, you won't do it. But you'll sit in the chair without checking it out. See, here's what I know about most people. You have more faith in a chair than you do your own ability of building this business. See, when I got on an airplane to fly to South Africa on my own dime, to a strange country I've never been to before, to build world ventures before anybody else was willing to go, When I got on an airplane to go to Australia on my own dime before anybody in corporate was willing to go. When I got on an airplane to go to London, England, to a foreign country to start building a business when nobody in the room, not even executives, was willing to go. See, I didn't have faith in the executives to have my back until I proved that it was worth having my back. So I got off my happy ass and I got faith in myself. And I said to myself, if I build it, they will come. You can't be a first generation millionaire if you don't have the character of faith. And this chair represents stupid faith. The same way you sit down with all faith in a chair, I dare you to stand up in you, inside you. The way you sit down in a man-made object, I dare you to stand up in a God-made object and participate in your own rescue, participate in your dreams, participate in your desires, participate in your future, participate in what you know you're doing in life, participate in the breakthrough of everything that it takes to become a first generation millionaire. I'm talking about the pillars of character, the foundational core, the essentials of what it takes to stand up within you, to understand your value, to have faith in who you are, to stand up within yourself, to become a first generation millionaire. You're clapping now. What's going to happen when you get on that car? Well, you get on that train, you get on that bus, you get on that airplane, and it's just you. True character is who you are when nobody else is around. You can clap all day because I'm on stage. But who are you when nobody else is around? I'm talking about the three character pillars that it takes to be a first generation millionaire when it's just you and you. You gotta understand your value. You gotta have faith. More faith in you, a God-made object, than you have faith in a man-made object. Come here, commitment. This is the part I struggled with. This is the one that gets me even to this day. This is the one that haunts me. This is the pillar that I fight more than any other one. To be honest with you, I don't fight with value. I cry myself to sleep in dark closets, locking myself in a closet. When I was 7, 8 years old, I've hid myself in the darkest corners of the house, crying because I didn't know where my mommy was. So I had to create value very early. I don't struggle with value. I just really don't. I don't struggle with faith because I've had to exercise it too much. I've exercised the muscles of faith, and you know if you work out in any shape, form, or fashion. I like doing cardio, I like working out in certain areas, but there's some things that if I exercise a new muscle, my muscle says, hey, we ain't been here before. Like you're not the basketball guy that's gonna run up and down the basketball court for 30 minutes. You don't exercise that muscle, so you're gonna feel it if you do it. So that muscle is different. But these muscles, for some reason, I don't struggle. I don't struggle with faith. I don't struggle with value. And some of you may not struggle with commitment, but this is where I struggle. Struggle with commitment because I can hide under, and this is me being transparent with you, being very transparent with you. I feel like I've been an insult to God because I'm gifted as a speaker. I have the ability to move people like most people can't. Les Brown left me a voice message a week ago, introducing me to somebody, and he said, Johnny is better than me. That's something I never wanted to hear. It's something that doesn't impress me, and it's something I've always hidden from and ran from. But I gotta be honest with you. I've been hiding under this definition of what you think great is when I know it's just good. See, you know what you are masterful at. Everybody's masterful at something. And when you are a master of something, when you are really blessed, when you're really gifted in a certain area, it's so easy to hide under somebody else's definition of great when you know for a fact it's not your true definition. See, if you call me great, I can say, okay, they think I'm great. So I don't have to work hard. I don't really have to show them who I am or what I'm really capable of because they've already called me great. So if I can hide under your definition of great and just be good, it allows me to be content and complacent. And to be honest with you, triple IMD is not great for me. It's not. I'm stretching myself in this speech right now because I want to be committed to what I'm called to do. And I want to talk about commitment. Here's what we mostly do. A lot of us in life, we will negotiate with commitment. And the reason I got a vending machine up here is I'm about to tell you something and share something with you that just makes so much sense that a kindergartner couldn't argue with. Can I walk up to a vending machine and say, I want this bag of chips, and if this bag of chips costs $1, can I go negotiate with this vending machine and say, hey, listen, I really don't want a whole bag. I'm not really in a whole bag mindset right now, vending machine. I'm in a half a bag mindset. So I'm only going to commit to half a bag because I don't want a whole bag. So I know it costs $1 for a full bag, but I just want to give you 50 cents. So if I put 50 cents in this vending machine, put 2 quarters in there, is the vending machine going to negotiate with me for a half a bag of chips? No, the vending machine is going to say, you got to be committed to the whole bag. What you want from the bag is none of my business. I'm standing as a vending machine to give you 100% of everything I have to give you, and there's no negotiation. Most of us in life, you say you want to be an IMD. You say you want to be a $1 million earner. You say you want to be a first-generation millionaire, but you negotiate with life, and you say to yourself, I'm not waking up 2 hours early before I have to go to work to put time into my business. I'm going to negotiate with this thing called life, this thing called success. I don't want to commit to everything. Stop asking me for 100% of what I have when I only want 50%. See, this is a pillar of character. It can't be negotiated for a first-generation millionaire. This is a character pillar that there's no negotiation. You can negotiate this one. You can negotiate the pillar of feeling good. You can negotiate the pillar of I want everybody to like me. That you can negotiate. You cannot negotiate these 3 pillars if you truly desire to be a first-generation millionaire. I'm talking from facts. Julio Acosta is a first-generation millionaire. Michael Jackson, first-generation millionaire. Gary Cowan, Jay Peso, Tara, Lily, Javed. I'm just talking about my teams because these are the ones that we've had conversations where they didn't like me all the way. I don't care about pissing Michael Jackson off. I don't care about hurting his feelings. These are pillars. These optional ones are feelings. I can't create first generation millionaires with things that are optional. You cannot negotiate with commitment, Johnny. You can't walk up to a vending machine and negotiate just because you're a good speaker. You can't talk your way into everything. You can't communicate your way out of everything. Give 100% or shut the hell up. There's no negotiation. If that's me talking to me, when's the last time you had a conversation with your parent? And I'm not talking about the optional. There are optional things in life that are pillars, that are options. These are non-negotiable. Here's what I like about God. God is full of options. He said, if my people. If is indicative of an option. It's not mandatory. You can negotiate. If my people who are called by my name will but humble themselves and seek my face, humble themselves, turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and heal their land. It's an option, but the first option starts with an if. And my favorite book says, if thou shalt confess with their mouth. It's an if I do this, I get that. That's a negotiation. It is not mandatory, but my favorite book also says, every need. See, that is a pillar. There's no negotiation. You can't negotiate with becoming a first-generation millionaire if you don't know your value. You gotta have the character, the foundational structure, pillar of value. If you don't know who you are, if you don't know whose you are, when someone says no, it won't work, you will fold, you will crumble, and somebody else will convince you that you have no value, and you will allow somebody else's opinion to become your reality when God is looking at you saying, I made you. You didn't make you. You don't even have the power to decrease your value in my eyes. What makes you think you have the power to decrease your value in the eyes of God if me folding and crumbling of a dollar doesn't decrease the value in human beings' eyes? Children told me, 7th and 8th graders looked at me and said, Johnny, you can do whatever you want to do to that $100 bill. As long as it stays together, as long as it can be identified, you can fold it, you can crumble it, you can wet it, you can put it at the bottom of a river for 100 years. When it comes back up from the water, when it comes back up from being spit on and being talked about and being talked down to and being left out in the rain to die, when it comes back up, that mandate object, that when it comes back up, it's the whole world will still acknowledge its value. But one person says no to you. One person tells you it doesn't work. He said, Johnny, why do you get emotional on our behalf? Because I know who made you.
Right.
I know we all been let down. I know we all been lied to. I know that people have talked about us. I know that people said we weren't going to make it. I know that people said we were a scam. I know that people said the company was screwing us. I know that they said all these things. I know I heard it with my own ears. I've seen it with my own eyes. But there's something about understanding your value.
Yeah.
And if I would talk to my kids right now, I tell my kids that I don't care what you go through in life.
I don't care who tells you no. I don't care who tells you you're not worth anything. I don't care who lets you down. I don't care if I let you down. Your value. Nobody can take your value from you unless you give it to them. And I would tell my kids, if you really truly want to build this business, if you truly want to start from scratch, and you as the next generation of millionaires, you truly want to build this, you truly want to get on the stage, and you truly want to do this, you got to have faith in you, because the company's going to let you down. Your left team's going to let you down. Your right team's going to let you down. The website's going to let you down. The booking engine's going to let you down. The dream trips, they're going to let you down. The events, they're going to let you down. It's going to happen. But I dare you to have more faith in you than the chair that you're sitting in. And just like you believe the chair is going to hold you up, believe the God inside you. The man-made object is not stronger than the God-made object. Have faith in you and stand up inside yourself when everybody else is wanting to let you down. I dare you to stand up inside you and have faith, more faith in you than you do a man-made object. And I would tell my kids, don't be like Daddy. Be better than me. Be stronger than me. I want you to have all three of these things. I don't want you to battle with this one like I do. Because the truth is, triple IMB could have been 3 years ago. It was nothing. And I'm glad everybody celebrates me, but if anybody who knows me, and they know me very well, you see me on stage, you can see it in my eyes, I can't celebrate it. I appreciate you, I accept your claps, I accept you loving my status. And the reason I wanted to be honest with you is because that's my way of just saying, listen, I'm sorry to me, not to you. Because this is a lie. Triple IMB is such a lie for me. It's such a lie. Because I hid under what you thought my title was. But I knew inside me that I didn't commit. I put a quarter in and trying to impress you with what you thought was $1. This is 25%, this is not 100% of it. And I know that. You don't have to believe it, but that's my confession. Because I want to conquer this pillar. Come on, boy. I want this pillar to be behind me. And the pillar of commitment, your struggle may be valued. It's not mine. Commitment may be your easiest one. Faith may be your easiest one. But I promise you truly have a desire to be a first-generation millionaire, or to help somebody in your team to become a first-generation millionaire, let them hear this audio. Let them watch this video. Because even if they're not in the room right now, I promise you, if you just focus on them hitting ranks and not their character, the ranks will fall. Let's go, baby. You have to love people beyond your paychecks. We have to love people beyond disciples. Sasha cycled 290 something times last week. I loved him way before he cycled 10 times. I was just lucky enough to get him at 14 years old when he started coming to my seminars. And by the time he was 18, he was ramped up, his core was built, and Marcus said I had already started working with him, and he's heard the voice of Wayne Nugent and Matt Morris and Jefferson Santos and Troy Brown. I mean, he's in love with the voice of Julio Acosta and Jay Bezos. He just loves and he gravitates to the information, but it's his character that sustains him. And I'm not saying he's perfect, he's young. I'm not perfect, you're not perfect, none of us are. But it's something about the three pillars of character that can sustain you throughout your imperfections. This is three pillars of your character to become a first generation millionaire, or to help someone else become a first generation millionaire. As you exit these doors, as you leave this building, know that the God who made you created you in such a way that there's nobody else who didn't create you that can increase your value. Know that the God who created you wants you to have the same faith that you have in Him. He wants you to have that kind of faith in yourself.
Let's go.
Stop having faith in man-made objects more than you do yourself. Stop sitting down with faith and stand up with faith within, inside you. Can't negotiate with commitment. You can't show up with a 50% mindset and thinking that you're going to get 50% out of something that was designed only to go with 100%. This was designed for 100%. And it will never negotiate. If this vending machine was called life, life will never negotiate with you. It's not interested in giving you 50% of what you were designed to be. It's interested in giving you 100% of what you were designed to be if you are willing to give it 100% back. Momentum 2019. North America. Let's go to work. Your killers together.